안녕하세요. JK 한국어입니다. I explain all of these rules of pronunciation one by one to give you the best knowledge. But sometimes it comes naturally without knowing these rules. Today is the perfect time to test your intuition in language. Let's see how your nature guides you for Korean. It's pretty exciting for me. Hope it's the same to you. Let's begin. We're gonna study Korean Batchim rule reinforcement today. If there is a final consonant, Batchim, the sound of the following consonant is reinforced sometimes. Today, we'll see the case that following consonant becomes tensed because of the Batchim. There are two syllable structures. Here at the bottom of the first syllable will be Batchim position, and upper box of the second syllable will be the following consonant. When first syllable has a stop sound as a 받침, like ka, kat, kap, which means 받침 sound is k, d, b, and following consonants are one of these, g, d, b, s, j. These sounds become tensed, g, d, b, s, j. Okay, don't even think about writing down. Just put your pen down if you have it in your hand and just to relax and try to read this. As you can see, it is cook, pop. But in a real conversation in our real life, no one makes pause to pronounce it perfectly. So when you read it a bit faster, it is cook, pop. Did you notice what just happened? Cook, pop. The consonant of the second syllable became tensed. It's pop. 국밥. There are three examples. First one. First syllable has a boop sound 받침, and then it's followed by the sound consonant. So we read it as 법대 instead of 법대, 법대. And the second one, the first syllable has 받침, which is P sound. But when you read it as 받침, it's the same as boop sound. Yup, yup. And then it's followed by the sound consonant, so the sound get tensed. So we read it as 옆집, 옆집. And third one, the first syllable has boop sound 받침, so we read it as 갑. And it's followed by the sound consonant, so we read it as 갑자기 instead of 갑자기, 갑자기. Let's take a look 3 more examples here. So first one, first syllable has ch sound 받침, but we don't read it as 꽃, but we read it as 꽃. Therefore, this is the same sound as the, and this is followed by the sound consonant as well. So when we read it, we have to read it as 꽃다발, 꽃다발. And the second example, first syllable has p sound 받침, so this is same as boop sound. So when we read it as 덥, and then it's followed by g sound of consonant. So this is 덥게, 덥게. In third example, the first syllable has d sound 받침 and it's followed by g sound consonant. So we read it as 받고, 받고. 2 more. These are the ones that you will see at the very beginning of Korean grammars. Both has double consonant 받침. But you can simply read only first ones, so it's not really complicated. Let's take a look first example. First syllable has double consonants, but we read only first 받침. So we read it as it, it. And it's followed by the sound consonant. So we read it as 있다, 있다. And the second one, first syllable has double consonants as well, and when we read only first consonant of 받침. So we read it as up, and it's followed by the sound consonant. So we read it as 없다, 없다. This is everything for the first rule of reinforcement. And now let's take a look what's the second rule. The second rule is very similar as the first one. So when 받침 is n, m, l sound, and it's followed by g, d, b, s, z, this sound becomes tensed. G, d, b, s, z. Let's see how it really works. There are 3 examples. First one, first syllable has n sound 받침, so we read it as an, and it's followed by b sound, so b sound becomes tensed. So we read it as 안방 instead of 안방, 안방. In the second example, first letter has n sound of 받침, so we read it as 눈. And the second letter starts with d sound. So this d sound becomes tensed. The sound. So we read it as 눈동자, 눈동자. And third one, Korean rice roll, 김밥. So first one has a m sound of 받침, we read it as 김. And the second letter starts with b sound. So this b sound becomes tensed. So we have to read it as 김밥 instead of 김밥. This is 김밥, 김밥. Let's see 3 more examples. The first one, if I read it separately, this is 한자. So first letter has n sound of 받침, 한, and it's followed by z sound of consonant. So how can we read this? 한자? No, this is 한자, 한자. The second example, if I read it separately, one by one, this is 글자, 글. It has a l sound of 받침, and then followed by z consonant. So we have to read it as 글자, 글자. And third one, 인기. So in, first letter has a n sound of 받침, in, and it's followed by g sound consonant. So the real pronunciation for this one is not 인기. This one, 인기, 인기. Okay, that's it. To be honest, there are lots of rules with this part. Something like, when it's a non-Chinese letters, it has a different rules than Chinese letters. If it's a compound word, also has a different rules. So please keep it in your mind that there are a bunch of exceptions always. Okay, then now let's practice. Please read it correctly. 김밥은 인기가 많아요. 김밥은 인기가 많아요. 글자는 쉬운데 문법은 어려워요. 글자는 쉬운데 문법은 어려워요. 일시적인 갈등이에요. 일시적인 갈등이에요. 댓글에 남겨주세요. Leave your answer in the comments below. Thank you. Have fun. 감사합니다. 다음 시간에 다시 만나요. 안녕.